You're listening to the Open Books Podcast.
Your next chapter starts now.
Is it love, 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 love that I'm feeling? Is it love, 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 love that I'm feeling? Is she the one?
Welcome back to the Open Books Podcast. And wow, do we just have so much to say on tonight's episode. And we're going to be discussing the emotionally draining, I don't know, that's just the best way for me to put it, novel that is Saving Noah by Lucinda Berry. I'm Amber.
I'm Colby, and I agree with you. Emotionally draining novel is a really good way to put it.
I was trying to find just like a real quick little
Yes.
to pop in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the best I had.
Later on, when I was writing my notes for like my takeaways, the words that I thought of was thought-provoking, complex, and like emotionally draining.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I think it's a book that really makes you think.
I'm still thinking about the book, and
I
it's been a
know.
week.
I know, me too.
I couldn't, that's why I was like, we have to get together.
Yes.
We have to discuss it because
Yeah, while it's fresh on the brain, we don't want
Yeah.
like our thoughts to go away. We need to put it all out there, lay it on the table, and talk
Because-
about this talking book.
it just had to be said.
Literally.
It had to be said.
Well, before we start, we're going to start like a new little segment. Let's talk about
I'm
it.
excited.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you are on the TikTok, you've likely seen the cute little weekly report trend. And basically, it's just a trend that romanticizes different aspects of your life. So when I saw it, I sent it to Colby, and I was like, how cute would this be if we did each week like a weekly report? So we're going to
Yeah.
do our first one.
That's perfect. And it'll kind of like mainstream and normalize our recaps that
Yeah.
we do because we love doing those and we want to talk about all the things. And this kind of gives it like a format to follow.
Absolutely.
So we love a format.
We
over
do
here.
love a format. Speaking of the format, so it goes through reading, eating, playing, obsessing, recommending, and treating. So report. That's our weekly report.
Spells report.
It simply spells out report.
So that's what we're going to do. We're going to report.
Yeah. Reporting for duty. Okay, do you want to go first?
Okay, so R for reading.
Mm-hmm.
There's two things that I want to talk about. The first one is the book that I have recently read called Bunker Dogs by Gage Greenwood. We've talked about it on the podcast a while back.
We have.
He is like an indie author who sent us an arc for this book, and I finally got around to reading it. It was so good. I was honestly shocked by how much I love this book.
Mhm.
It was so different. Like, it was a really unique take on a horror novel, and I just found myself like really enjoying it. So like a quick synopsis is that this girl named Cassie, it's third person, which like I don't love third person point of views. I really like reading from the first person.
I love a first person as well.
Yeah, me too. But this one, it really kept my interest. So it's told in third person, and it tells the story of Cassie, and it like quickly hops into an apocalyptic world. So she has to like run into this bunker where she hides with the boy that she's babysitting, and then like in the bunker are these like vampires. And I know it sounds like cringy.
It
like,
actually
cheesy.
sounds fire though.
It was, and like it was like a really interesting take on vampires. And so throughout the whole novel, not only is she like figuring out how to deal with these vampires, but also like the demons of her past, and like it
Oh
really,
shit.
yeah, it all kind of like comes full circle, and it just like kind of confronts what you're actually hiding from within yourself. And so it was like
That's
fire ass
deep
book.
AF.
It was so good. I was like hooked. And
See,
so
I feel like that's something I would really enjoy.
it was really, really good. I was like,
Mm.
honestly, really into the book. So he did an amazing job, and it popped off this book. Like
Yeah.
I've been like, I have to read what people say after. So I go on Amazon,
Mhm.
I went on Goodreads, and I read other people's reviews, and like everyone loves the book. So if you're looking for a recommendation for a thriller, because it was definitely a thriller,
Okay,
but it
well,
also had like a unique spin on horror, like that's the one to do. It was really good.
I need to read it.
Yes, I think you should.
I feel like that's something I would really enjoy,
Mm-hmm.
especially with like the little twists.
Yep, twists and
Okay.
turns. And then the other book that I'm reading that I haven't got too far into was Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney. But I'm really interested in reading another one of her books because I see her everywhere on Book Talk.
Yes.
And I read like the really viral one. It was viral like a year ago, Rock, Paper, Scissors. It was good. So I think I'm going to like this one. I think she's like a really good like thriller author. Really
haven't read it.
solid one.
I haven't read any of her books.
Well,
But I
we'll
do
keep you
see-
updated.
Yeah, keep me updated on that.
Yes. Okay.
Add her to
That was
the
it for
list.
R for me. What's R for you?
Currently, I am reading 101 Essays to Change the Way You Think.
Okay.
Now, you're probably thinking like, bitch, you've been reading this book for like fucking 2 years.
I was going to say, I have heard you say that book before.
I read this book all the time.
I
I
love
really
that.
just kind of fell off. I haven't really read it since like June. But as part of my little morning routine, I would read one chapter
Okay.
from the book. And it's really just insightful and just gives you different ways to think about your life,
Amazing.
period.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
I do recommend, if you're looking for like a nonfiction,
Hmm.
it's a good one.
Have you finished it or are you just working your way through it?
No, I'm working my way through
Okay,
it.
got
Very
it.
slowly digesting
Yeah.
each chapter.
It's like a nice one to just come back to. You
It
have
is.
it. Okay, I love that.
It is.
What's next?
What are you eating?
Oh, okay. This is something that I'm constantly eating right now, and it's pumpkin Reese's.
Oh, your favorite.
My favorite. I love any holiday Reese. They're so top tier.
They taste better, don't they?
Tastes way better. I
They
think
do
it's
taste
because
better.
it's the peanut butter. There's more peanut butter because they don't have like the really thick, round chocolate edges. It's
Yes.
more just like filled with peanut butter.
It's smoother.
Smoother.
Goes
Yeah.
clean. It's just
So
a nice
true.
little bite.
It's so good. So I love the pumpkin Reese's. I love the Easter egg Reese's. But right now, pumpkin is where it's at for Halloween. So literally, anytime I'm at the gas station, like I
Mhm.
will be grabbing a pumpkin Reese.
I will indulge.
I will.
It's funny you say that because what I've been eating a lot of are Halloween Oreos specifically.
Ooh, a Halloween Oreo.
Yeah. Not that they taste any different than a regular Oreo
Why are they called Halloween? Like,
because they have like the cream is orange.
oh,
They're black and orange.
Okay, it's the vibes
It's
that
the
they give
vibes
off. The
that they're
vibes.
giving off. Also been drinking a lot of those like Premier protein drinks.
Oh yeah,
Just like
That's
a
good.
guaranteed little 30 grams of protein.
yeah. And anytime I drink anything like that, I'm like, I'm literally so healthy. Like,
Oh, the
I am-
epitome of health.
oh yeah, like
You can't stop me.
yeah. Right, I'm Superman now. I've drank this Premier Protein.
It's kind of like the equivalent to like greens.
Yeah, exactly. I literally just ate 10 vegetables because I drink this.
Literally. Okay, so
Next is playing. Okay, so is this like what we're watching?
yeah, I think like what I've been seeing is like what you're watching on TV,
Okay.
like what workouts you doing.
Okay.
Like someone said that they were like they played pickleball. That was what they were playing.
Okay.
So I think like
Entertainment
what
almost.
you're doing,
What
yeah,
you're doing.
like what you've been up to,
Okay.
what you're playing.
So what I've been playing is two things. American Horror Story, the new season, Delicate.
Yeah.
I've been really well, there's only 3 episodes, so I'm just getting into it.
Mhm.
But I'm really kind of watching for the Kim K aspect of it all. I really want
the
to
Kim
see
Kardashian of
yeah,
it all.
I want to see what she's made of as far as acting.
Mhm.
She's pretty good. Like
I was
can't
gonna say
lie.
she surprised me in episode 1. I was like,
yeah.
I'm a little scared,
Yeah.
and I feel like she might not be acting. Like this is a little too good.
Exactly. I was like, wow, she really is multifaceted, that Kim.
You
Kim
can't
Kardashian.
You can't take it away from her.
You can't deny it. Like you can't hate on the fact that like she means business.
Yeah,
And,
like
like, she
she's
puts her
about
all-
the coins.
She is, and like she puts her all into what she does. She
Yeah.
really does. Maybe a little too much. She puts a whole but doesn't.
I was gonna say she puts her whole pussy into it.
No, when we went to Miami on our friend Amanda's bachelor
Oh my
trip,
God.
the word "badussy,"
Badussy.
everything we did,
Everything. We put our whole badissies into
It just
everything.
it just means like you give it all you got.
The way I puked and rallied that night.
you really puked and rallied.
What was that, 11?
Yeah,
I put my whole
but
badissie
She
into
was-
going out that night.
Amber was not okay. She was out for the fucking count, literally dead, and then she like
Rose back
rose
on
out to
dead.
dead and was like, "Let's go."
Put a little dress on. A full face.
Wait, okay, I have a question. Like now that we're not there,
Yeah.
when you were at 11, were you like, I literally am dying right now, or
Wait,
were you
You
kind
really
of
wanna know?
okay?
I think I shook back for a second
hmm
after I rallied.
Yeah.
I was fine. And I was like,
Yeah.
at some point, it like hit. The music was like, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Because we were right by the DJ.
Yes.
So it was like, boom, 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 boom. There were people everywhere. I
Could
was
it move?
hyper aware that like I had feet. Like they were
Mhm.
throbbing, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And then you ever get off of like the boat and you still feel
Mhm.
like you're rocking?
Yes.
That set in. And
Yeah.
I was like, "Ooh, I'm starting to sweat. Like
Not okay. We were like sardines in there, literally.
that's when I was like, all right, it's 3 a.m. Like
Maybe we should pet him.
Who's first flight out of here?
Anyone else
Who's
catching
in?
the vibe? Like
Nobody.
all of our friends were like, "It's 3.
It's
like
3
it might
a.m.,
as well
like-
be. It might as well be 6 p.m.
right, like,
it's-
why are you trying to leave?
in Miami, 3 a.m. is 6 p.m.
It really is. So, like, I was a loser. Like, I was a big fat
We
loser.
were L7 weenie
I
in
was.
11.
I should have, like, took myself to Winnie Hut Jr. Like, I could not hang. But I was so aware of everything. The
Yeah.
smells were heightened.
Yeah, hate that.
My palms were sweaty.
Oh, palms are sweaty.
Arms were spaghetti.
Honestly,
I had to
we
get
could
out
have
of
a
there.
whole Miami recap.
We could,
episode. Because we're like New Orleans, born and raised in Miami was completely, I don't know, different. To me, it was so different than what we're
It
used
was.
to. So like, yeah,
it was like an out-of-body experience.
the whole thing.
The
The whole
thing
trip, I was like, where am I?
was happening. But
Okay,
anyway,
that was a tangent.
if I didn't, I could have lasted. Okay, that's all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say.
You
I could have
we-
hung there.
You are such a trooper. Like, you could last, and we all know it.
Why did we get on that?
I don't know. Oh, but does he?
Oh my Kim K
Yes.
took us to Miami.
Yeah, literally.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
so I've been watching her in American Horror Story. I've been
Mm-hmm.
rewatching Scream Queens because like it's so iconic and it's so like Halloween coded, like spooky
Oh,
coded.
it really is so good now. I think I
Mhm.
need to go rewatch it.
Yeah, I love Emma Roberts in anything
In
she
anything.
plays, and like she always plays that same character. She's just like the bitchiest bitch of all bitches, and she plays it so well.
So well.
So Scream Queens, iconic. I can't believe there's only 2 seasons of that. They needed so much
Yeah.
more. And that also just makes me want to rewatch American Horror Story. Horror Story.
American Herster.
Horror Story. And I really want to rewatch Murder House because you posted on Facebook like what are your favorite AHS, and I was like I need to rewatch Murder House. It's so good.
Murder House is top tier, and I think some people would argue that, and
Mm-hmm.
that's fair.
That's fair.
Nothing tops Murder House.
No.
Nothing.
I wonder if it holds up though because I haven't watched it in several
holds up.
years. It holds the fuck up.
holds up. It does. I rewatched not long ago.
Okay, I'm gonna rewatch.
And it does.
So
It be
next
holding
episode,
up.
I'll let y'all know my recap on my rewatch.
Yes.
Okay, what have you been P for playing?
P for playing is also watching TV,
There you go.
watching the television. Love is Blind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that goes without saying.
Yeah, we're gonna try to fit in a season recap.
We are. So I wonder if I should.
Like,
I'm
did you
just-
have thoughts to say on it?
I did have thoughts,
Mhm.
but have you been seeing what's circulating on TikTok
I don't know.
about like some of the cast members from season 5 suing?
Kind of. So I've been seeing that there were like several other cast members who got engaged and were like never shown, and then there was
Yes.
like some weird sexual assault allegations.
Yes, yes, yes.
Mm.
So maybe we'll save it for the actual
Okay.
Love is Blind episode that we do.
Yeah,
because this will take like we could dive into this and it really could take forever.
we could dive deep, and there's still going to be the wedding episode that we need to watch, and then we
Right.
can like really have an episode where we break down like the episodes from the pods, every couple, every person.
Because I would love to dive into and do some
Yeah, me too.
diagnoses
100%. We are going to diagnose these people.
because we are the clinical professionals.
If y'all didn't know,
That
we
we
went
are.
went to medical school,
We
and
are.
we are here to diagnose the cast of Love Is Blind. So
MDs.
let's do that.
Yes. Okay. So I'll save that.
Okay.
Also, watching Naked Attraction.
Oh, never heard of that.
100% blame Mildred for this.
Millie, what is it?
So, went over there
Mhm.
by Millie to watch Golden Bachelor.
Okay.
Okay. However, that was on Thursday night, and if you watch The Golden Bachelor on Hulu, it's not, and you don't watch it live, you can't watch the episode until Friday or the next day.
Right.
I think
Okay.
it's like some random time that it comes out. So we're like, oh, well, can't watch it. And Millie's like, oh, this show, whatever, we've been watching. So she puts it on. Y'all, I shit you not, is the complete opposite of Love is Blind.
What?
There is one, like,
It's reality TV, kind of.
kind of.
Okay.
It's like UK based from 2018. You can watch it on HBO. Anyway, here we go. There's a contestant searching for love.
Okay.
And then, like, you can, girls and guys, like bisexual, it doesn't matter. there are these 5 like little pods with these risers in front of them.
Okay.
And you start with the bottom half. The riser goes up and exposes all the way to like private area.
Completely
The goods
nude
are out.
in
Oh
the
yeah, and
nude?
you see it.
They show full dick.
Full frontal.
No.
And the girls too. And then they're like, okay, turn around. Ass out.
What? I'm shook.
Ass out. Like you
HBO,
girl, it is wild because let me tell you,
does it come
there
on
are
like their
some
local TV? Like,
I don't know. And then okay, so then it's like midsection, so then
Mhm.
it's like tits out.
and then you could be like, no, I don't like that pair. Next.
They're saying that. They're like,
Oh.
"Oh, that's not really my style." Like
oh my god, that's great.
and like these people are just taking it.
yeah.
Then they show your face and then it's like, "Oh, you get to talk, whatever." And then at the end, the person that's seeking love then has to get naked.
Mhm.
And then the final 2 contestants like judge the body of the man or the woman that's like searching for love. Then they go on a date, fully clothed.
I have no words. That
It's
sounds so
so
psychotic. I love it.
Wild. And now I'm like, I can't,
I need
can't stop watching it.
Wait, is it just one season?
No. There's a few
Oh.
seasons. I'm not sure, but it's more than one season for sure.
Obsessed. What is it called?
Naked Attraction.
Okay, I will be watching that when I get home.
Matt is going to be like, bitch,
He's
what
like-
the fuck is
He's
this?
like, Love Island was enough.
No, watch when you put on Naked Attraction. Just
Thank-
like, don't even tell him. Just
No.
like put it on and let him just casually be in the living
right.
room with
I'm
you.
just gonna start this new show.
Be like,
Like, you want to
"Oh,
watch?
Yes, tell him nothing about it.
I'm obsessed with
He's
that.
going to lose it.
Thank you, Millie. That's hilarious.
Shout out Motion by Millie.
oh my god, literally.
Okay. What are
It's
you
nice.
obsessing over?
Okay, I am currently obsessing over Audible audiobooks.
Oh, good answer.
I-
Like Family Feud.
Yeah.
Good
nice.
answer. Good
nice.
answer.
I'm obsessing over audiobooks because we talked about it a little bit the last episode, but I'm still on the same wavelength and I want to keep these good vibes going with audiobooks. It has been so lovely to have on an audiobook while I'm cleaning the house, driving the car, because I'm a podcast girl through and through, but I run out of podcasts. Like I only have so many that like I love. I'm always looking for new ones. But I find that having Audible is like, 1, letting me finish 10 times more books, and 2, giving me something interesting to listen to
Yeah.
in my ear.
And I think the big thing is like you can multitask.
You can multitask. Exactly.
And still have something good on rotation.
Yes.
Because I'm the same way with podcasts.
Mhm.
Like I'm not venturing out.
I like the ones I like.
I like what I like.
Yeah. And that also is what I have on here is my other obsessing over, which is the toast. But it's just like, I'm always obsessing over the toast.
Always.
I am the toast.
They
like,
could get on and just like talk about
anything.
plants.
I know.
And I'd be like, no shit.
I love it.
I
Everything they say.
100%
Don't let them forget. Obsessed.
obsessed.
Like, I just feel like we are them and they are us. Like, we have so many similarities in the like our humor
If
and like
we
the way
all
we
hung
talk.
out,
It would be electric. So like,
it would. Electric. That is
speaking into existence that like we will
Manifest
one day.
quins.
Yes,
quins.
quins. We're manifest quins.
Manifest quins.
We will know them. They will know us. Like, we'll be part of a podcasting community in which the toast is correlated.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
I also obsess over like true crime podcasts.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of over some of the ones I was listening to before, like Morbid
Mhm.
and Crime Junkie. So I'm looking for a new one. If anybody has a new true crime podcast, let me know.
Yeah, please
in the
let us know
market.
because I haven't been listening to them either.
I kind of got over it.
I
Like, I got a little
tried-
burnt out with it.
I think the last time I listened to Morbid was on the way home from Emily's bachelorette trip.
Oh, yeah, that was a while.
And it's been a minute.
And you kind of were just like, eh.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. So if you have any true crime podcasts, send them our way.
Please. Okay, I'm obsessing over the weather. Just like
Yeah,
short, sweet.
period.
I can't get over how it's making me feel.
It's so insane how much the weather can completely change your mood
100%.
because it's been hot as ever in New Orleans.
And
Like,
sticky. I can't take
you can't like walk to your car without sweating, and it's just nasty. So
miserable.
when I woke up this morning and it was like 60 something, I was like, I'm a new person.
I was outside sitting in my back patio with my Kindle and a blanket draped over my legs. Short sleeves on top.
Love it.
It was the best.
That's amazing.
Okay, recommending. What are you recommending?
Okay, I'm recommending Drink Root. So it's this beverage that we both have right now. So I'm kind of in my sober season. and
Same.
I'm kind of loving it. So, and don't get crazy. Like, I'll still have a drink. Literally last night.
Don't misunderstand
Don't-
what we're trying to say.
Don't take this the wrong way. Literally last night I had a little girly swirly dinner with the girly swirlies, and I had 2 margaritas, and that was lovely, and like it was, and I loved it. But I've noticed in this season of my life, really since having kids, I just have really taken a step back from alcohol, and like I kind of love it. It's just a
It
little
gives you so much clarity.
clarity. That's exactly right. It's like a peaceful feeling. I don't have hangovers. Like, it's just not worth it for me anymore. I don't feel like drinking anymore. But like we said, we like a little beverage. So we talked about it a little bit on the last episode, but I've since done a little more research into like
Ooh.
what exactly this is.
Please let us know.
Okay. So this is what it is. This is what it is. So it's kava. It's like dehydrated kava. And I didn't really even know what I've heard of kava, but I wasn't sure what it was. So it's basically like a plant, like a root.
Mhm.
So this is from Drink Root's website directly. It says kava is a relaxing beverage made from the root of the kava plant. The plant hails from the South Islands and is crowned to be the national drink of Fiji. It is best known for its anti-anxiety and sedative properties. Drink Root sells it as instant kava, which is dehydrated kava juice. So you have 2 options on how to enjoy Drink Roots. Simply mix 2 servings with 8 ounces of water, which is what we did, or whatever kind of like juice works best for you. So what we did was mix it with these like flavored electrolytes to give it like a little taste. So the first feelings you may recognize when drinking kava is usually the tension in the back of your neck starting to calm down and release. It feels like there was a knot that might be being massaged internally. You may feel tingly sensations similar to the feelings you get when giving a hug to someone you really love, when being happy when you see them. That's so sweet.
I absolutely love that.
Me too.
What a great way to put it.
I know. There are neurochemicals being released like dopamine and serotonin. It's similar to that feeling. So then, after some time passes, you might start to feel just like a calm wave of euphoria slowly wash over you, like you're laying down head first on the beach and the waves are gracefully lapping at your head. How relaxing does that sound?
Who wouldn't want that?
Right. Whoever wrote that really like nailed it on the head because that is what I'm searching for.
Give them a raise.
Give them a
Immediately.
give them a raise immediately. And like, yeah, I just love that feeling. Like it's just like something to calm you down a little bit. So I've been enjoying it.
Me too. I will say I do feel
Like a little calm.
I do feel calm.
Yeah.
And I am someone that would take ashwagandha capsules or sometimes the chewies
Oh, really?
to get that same type of feeling.
Mhm.
And this
Yeah.
is right there with it.
It is.
Like I do feel very calm.
Yes.
I don't feel anxious.
Not at all. I feel like I'm in a great mood right now.
And it is weird because you mentioned that tingly sensation like when you do get a really good hug and like you do feel that right now.
I do. I almost like feel it in my back. Like I
Yeah.
feel like this pillow is so comfy. It's like extra comfy right now.
I know.
So y'all should check it out. I'm really enjoying it. I'm
Me too.
gonna keep trying it out.
For sure.
See if it's not just placebo, but for now I think it's working. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I like it too.
Okay, what have you been recommending, or what are you going to recommend?
I am recommending e.l.f. makeup.
Yes.
Y'all. Holy shit. The e.l.f. Halo Glow Foundation. I'm not kidding. When I wear it, I really do actually get compliments on it. And it is, in my opinion, a Charlotte Tilbury dupe. A dupe. It gives you that like super dewy glow. Even when you put powder on top, it still like shines through. I don't know how else to explain it. It's a little fuller coverage than Charlotte Tilbury's Flawless.
Flawless filter.
That's it.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. And it's only like $15.
That's so amazing. Elf is really like becoming so high-end drugstore.
Stepping their shit up.
It really is.
The other thing I'm recommending is their brow lift gel.
Oh, I love a good brow gel. I've never tried theirs.
Go get it immediately. It's like in a little like help me.
Like
It's
a little
not a tube. It's like a little
container, like a
container
little
with this
pot.
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 Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the word I was searching for.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because what I was using was the Got to Be gel.
That's what I use too.
Oh my gosh. Wait.
Your eyebrows do look amazing.
Do you see
right
this
now.
shit?
Yeah, they're like literally like pointing up perfectly,
Like the up and the over.
up and over. They're perfectly groomed.
They are, and they're not going anywhere.
Okay, sold.
And that's
You've
cheap.
convinced
That's,
me.
I say cheap, but you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
super affordable.
Yeah, it is.
Cheap. Let's call it what it is. Cheap. But it gets the job done.
So I saw you at school, what was it, Friday? And I was
Yeah.
like, I had to text you because your skin stuck with me. It was so gorgeously like glowing. So I told you
That's
that,
so nice,
and
yeah.
you sent me Elf, and I did buy it. So
You did get
I'm just
it?
waiting for it to come in.
You're going to be obsessed.
I bought it on Amazon.
Obsessed. Okay, what are you treating yourself to?
I'm treating myself to self tanner. It's necessary.
Obsessed.
It's necessary for me right now in these pasty, pale times. It is the bane of my existence putting on self tanner because if you are someone who puts on self tanner, you already know the sticky, disgusting feeling that you have to deal with. But it's a small price to pay for the confidence boost that I get when I have self tanner
For
on.
the
So
entire next week.
exactly, I got a good weekend, so it's worth it for me.
I think I'm going to go home and put self-tanner on now.
Yeah,
Because it really it's a mood booster,
it easily.
Doesn't matter what color
Mhm.
clothing item you put on your body.
It looks
you
good.
just look radiant.
Yep, it's true.
And
It
even
just-
when it starts cracking off,
I don't
it doesn't
care.
matter.
I
I'd rather that than be pasty.
I don't care. My students have called me up multiple times for having like random
Always.
orange in between my fingers. I'm like, literally mind your business.
I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care.
What are you treating yourself
I treated myself to drum. That was supposed to be a drum roll.
to?
Roads by Hailey Bieber.
Obsessed. What did you get?
I got 2 of her lip glosses
Mhm.
or lip stains or whatever they are.
Do you love them?
I don't know. I haven't gotten them in yet.
Oh my
Like, I
God.
literally just treated myself.
I'm so happy for
But
you.
it's like ballet pink just because I was like, ooh, I want to be a soft girl so bad.
I want to be Hailey Bieber so bad. I am a Hailey Bieber stan through and through. I don't care.
There is
I love
something
her.
about her.
There is. You can't deny it.
You can't.
She's stunning.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Stunning.
So I got 2 colors. I can't remember what the other is, but it's like a nice, rich brown. But they're like glosses.
I love that. That is such a treat. I can't wait to see how
So
that
I'll
comes
keep y'all
out.
posted.
Please.
That was fun.
That was so much fun.
What a good way to.
I love it. This
Okay.
is I love that we're gonna start doing this as our recaps. It really got everything out that we needed to say. It all had to be said.
It absolutely has to be said.
Okay, so I think we're ready now.
But do you have good news before we jump into it?
Oh, my good news. Yeah, I do.
Oh.
That we're off tomorrow.
We are off tomorrow. Hey,
I
turn
can't-
up.
I can't wait. So this is gonna be kind of fucked up, but Matthew still has school and he's going. Like, I'm sorry, he's going to school
As
as he
As he
should,
should.
and I'm sleeping.
you should.
So though Leo's daycare like also took off, they must like follow public school.
Yeah.
I'm like, I see y'all. They said they're doing a staff training. I'm like,
Y'all slick.
I don't blame y'all. I don't blame y'all. So Leo will be staying home with me, but the good thing is like he still naps like twice a day.
Right.
I will be laying down.
Wait, so
I
you
will
just
be
have
napping.
a full day of
Yep.
like
I'm not doing nothing. Nothing.
nothing.
What is your good news?
I'm getting a haircut tomorrow.
Are
Like
you?
a haircut.
You getting like snipped for real?
I'm getting snipped for real, y'all.
How short are you gonna go?
I'm saying for real. I'm acting like I'm about to come out looking like Hailey Bieber.
Like you're
No,
getting a
I'm-
bob straight up.
So they calling you Bob? No, I'm thinking like
Okay.
Like
a decent
boob.
yeah. A decent trim.
it's
Up to the
time.
nipple.
I've had 6 years of this like long hair,
Yeah.
and it's been a good ride.
hmm
And I've loved her, and she's done what she needed to do. I really wanted long hair for my wedding.
And you had it.
Had it,
Yeah.
and it's time for something different.
It's for the short hair season.
It is short hair season,
I
but I
love
do
that.
keep seeing all these little short bobs, and I'm like,
It's so tempting.
but I will never go that short again.
No.
Absolutely,
Because you did used to have
never.
like short hair like
oh,
that.
I was like, let me speak to the manager. Send this
Shut
chicken
up.
back. It's cold.
you, y'all, you really were. Like it was that short.
And then I would like flip it.
Yeah. Full side part. Like
Full side
like,
part.
It's like that iconic picture of Victoria Beckham from like 2001.
And it was like bright red for half a second.
Yeah.
I don't know how
It was such a mood.
we went bright red to blonde and I still had hair.
And your hair is still thriving.
It
It really
it
is.
is.
You're going to feel so fresh though with a nice little
I
cut.
can't wait.
Yeah. And it's still going to be long enough. You can still do so many things
Oh,
with
yeah.
it.
Okay,
All
now we're ready to get into it.
Now we're ready. So here we go. That was such a pleasant little recap, but we're about to get real dark real quick because this book is
the
a lot.
best way to put it.
real dark real quick. This
Let's
book is a
go.
lot. If you read the book, you already know what's in store for you. But if you're here for the summary, the recap, which I know people are, here are some trigger warnings. It's going to discuss pedophilia, sexual assault, and suicide. So here we go. I'm taking my glasses off once again. Okay. Saving Noah challenges everything you think you know about teenage sexual offenders. It will keep you up at night long after you've read the last page, questioning beliefs you once thought were true. This book was entirely uncomfortable, but the concepts presented were highly complex and extremely thought-provoking. So, here's a summary. This book is told from the perspective of Adrian. So, when I was listening to the audiobook, he called her Adrienne. I'm not sure what Lucinda intended, but I'm going to go with Adrian.
Adrian.
Yeah.
Makes more sense. I read it as Adrian when I would
okay.
read part of the book.
Same. So I'm going to go with Adrian. So it's told from the perspective of Adrian. She is a mother to her 2 children, Noah and Katie, and her husband, Lucas. They are seemingly a very happy and content family. Noah is a 15-year-old high schooler. He has always been the ideal son. He does well in school, he's a star on the swim team, and people in their community adore him. He coaches a Pee Wee swimming team, and everything is going great for the family. His little sister Katie, who is super sweet, and she loves her older brother. There were no signs of anything wrong with Noah until one day he confessed to his mother Adrian that he molested 2 little girls, both 6 years old, during swim practice. Adrian is completely thrown off by this and utterly devastated. She tells her husband, and they decide to have a sit-down with the parents of the 2 victims. Adrian went into the meeting thinking that the girls' parents would be somewhat understanding and vouch for Noah to get help, but instead she was met with very angry reactions. The parents were in shambles, and this led to Noah being arrested and taken into a rehabilitation facility. Throughout the story, we get flashbacks from a perspective that is titled Him Before. Excuse me. In these chapters, a boy recounts his experiences in the treatment facility, and we learn more about how and why he did what he did with the little girls. Noah is extremely self-aware and recognizes that what he did was disgusting and deplorable. He constantly talks about how much he hates himself and how much he wishes he never touched the 2 girls. We find out that Noah began noticing his sexual desires when he was only in the 7th grade, when boys around him started to become interested in dating girls and watching porn. He felt nothing in the way that the other boys did. He began wondering what was wrong with him, and then he slowly started to notice that he was sexually attracted to young children, young girls to be exact. He always pushed those feelings far into the back of his mind until one day things came to a head when at swim practice one of the little girls rubbed against him and he let his darkest thoughts and desires come to life. That's when the touching and fondling of the children took place. After doing it a couple times, he expressed to his mother that he wanted to quit coaching, and Adrian, not having any clue, pressed for him to finish what he started. Noah then confessed to her what happened, and now the family was reeling from the consequences of his actions. Lucas, Noah's father, is completely appalled and disgusted by his son. He immediately turns his back on Noah, wanting nothing to do with him, and focuses his time on protecting his little sister Katie. Adrian, however, can't seem to turn her back on her son. She believes he can get better, and she's willing to do whatever it takes to get Noah the help he needs. Very quickly, the family divides. Katie, the little sister, is confused on why her big brother can't come home. Adrian is depressed, missing and worrying about her son, feeling so guilty for never seeing the signs, and feeling guilty for the 2 little girls that he hurt and their families. She doesn't know where to turn. All she knows is that she loves her son and she won't give up on him. Noah was sentenced to 18 months in the Juvenile Rehabilitation Center, where he endured many therapies and sessions to help train his brain to be normal. While in the center, Adrian visits him and reassures him that he's loved and forgives him. She just wants things to go back to normal. Noah is the perfect candidate for rehabilitation. He recognizes that what he did wasn't normal. He says he wants to change and he wants to be different. He does everything that doctors, therapists, and psychologists want him to do, and he's released when the time is up. Once he's released, Lucas, Noah's father, makes it clear that he won't be living under the same roof as Noah with Katie. So Adrian gets an apartment to stay with Noah while Lucas and Katie live at their house. Noah returns to school where he's immediately bombarded by other students who know exactly what he did. He's beaten terribly, and Adrian is heartbroken at what happened to her son and decides that they need to move further away. So they move to a different town, but nothing really changes. Others find out about what Noah did, and they beat him in the same way. This time they even sodomize him with a baseball bat. Noah is completely broken down. He sees no way out of his own personal hell that he created. Adrian does her best to provide him with a normal life, but Noah does try to kill himself twice. The first time by taking all of his pills, and the second time by hanging himself. Both attempts fail, and he ends up in the mental hospital both times on suicide watch. Lucas decides to not be there for his son during this time. Noah is once again the ideal patient. He does what he needs to do to convince the hospital staff that he's stable enough to be let out, But he tells his mom that in the end, he's just going to try to kill himself again. During this time, Lucas visits Noah in the hospital and whispers to him that he thinks Noah should just run away, and Lucas promises to send him money to get him settled. This enrages Adrian because she wants the family to band together in this time, not grow further apart. But Lucas still wants nothing to do with his son. Noah knows deep down that he actually hasn't changed. Adrian finds a note that was left for her when he attempted to kill himself the second time, and in this note she finds out the entire truth of who her son really is. It seems like Adrian wanted to live in a world in which Noah just made a mistake by touching the two girls. She wanted to believe that his teenage sexual urges took over and he did something disgusting, but that he could learn from his mistakes and grow to be a different person. But the note that Noah left proves to her that that's never going to happen. In the note, Noah tells Adrian that he is a true pedophile. He has known it for a long time, and he knew that he was never cured like he claimed to be after leaving rehab. His desires were still there, and he knew that one day he would probably do the same thing like he did with the girls on the swim team. He knows that he's not normal for having these feelings, and he hates himself more than he can explain. He wishes he could suppress the feelings enough to live a normal life, but that will never happen, which is why the only choice he feels he has is to kill himself to protect the world around him. Adrian is completely torn apart by this note, coming to the realization that she was always trying to pretend wasn't there. She spends all of her time and energy trying to convince him that he still deserves to have a life and that she thinks that he can still get help, but it's clear that his mind is made up at this point. Noah begs Adrian to help kill himself. Since she's a nurse, she would know the correct dosage of whatever pills could get the job done. Adrian tells him no, absolutely not, but in the end she does make the choice to help her son end his own life. She couldn't bear to see him in this much pain. So she spends her last days with him, taking him all in, telling him how much she loves him. He tells her that he loves her too. Adrian, Noah, Katie, and Lucas do spend one last day together as a family, though Katie and Lucas didn't know the plans that Noah and Adrian had. On this day, Noah had as much fun as he could with his little sister, and Lucas tried to pretend like things were fine, though he still gave Noah that same cold shoulder. Adrian recounted how different their lives were, thinking how their family used to consist of a happy marriage and 2 kids. Now all that remained was a sad and broken group of people. And then came time for the assisted suicide to happen. Noah lays down, and Adrian gives him the right dosage of pills and sits with him while he slowly passes away. Noah created a list of songs to be played for his mom to help comfort her, starting with one of their favorite songs, Here Comes the Sun. Adrian unravels as her son's life slowly fades away in front of her, while songs of his childhood plays in the background. She sings to him another song that Noah had picked out, Lullaby by the Dixie Chicks, and recites the lyrics, How long do you want to be loved is forever enough. Once Noah was gone, his death was labeled a suicide, and Adrian continued her own life only for her daughter, Katie. She ends her story by claiming that she'll never be the same without her son, she'll just be a shell of herself, and she'll never stop loving him. She found some faith in God again and lived each day with the hopes of being able to see her son again, praying that he's finally at peace. Finally, though, we get a chapter from Lucas, Noah's father. This chapter was labeled Him After. This is where we find out that all of the chapters in the book are told from the perspective of a teenage boy was actually Lucas, Noah's father, while he was in the rehab center. Lucas had been a pedophile himself when he was Noah's age. He was caught molesting his cousins and sent away. His mom had protected him in the same way that Adrian had tried to protect Noah. The difference is Lucas did learn to suppress his sexual urges. They never really went away, but he learned to mask who he was, and he led a normal life with Adrian and his 2 kids. When Lucas was caught molesting his cousins while babysitting them, times were different in the age of no internet, and his actions weren't really showcased the way Noah's were. It wasn't until Noah made his confession that all of Lucas's past crept back in and he remembered who he really was. Looking at Noah reminded him of himself, and that disgusted him. He hated Noah for being exactly who he used to be and needed Noah out of his life completely so he can go back to living a normal life. Which is why he was never there for his son. He abandoned him from the moment he found out that his son was just a mere reflection of him. And that's it. That's the book.
So crazy.
It's so crazy. I had chills again when I was reading certain parts because it just really got to me. This was actually the first time I've cried for a book.
In a long time.
In a long time. I can't remember a book that I've cried for.
I did cry for this book too.
But that chapter.
You talking about?
Yes. The assisted suicide.
Yeah.
Made me cry.
Yeah.
And just now when I was reading it, I was like,
I'm about to tear up again.
Yeah. Terrible.
Okay. So that was like the perfect summary because it hit all those
those
main
main
parts.
points. Thank you.
So we'll just dive right into our questions for this book. Question number 1. So the book begins with the shocking conflict almost immediately.
Yeah.
Like, it
does.
happens really quickly. What were your initial reactions to what Noah confessed?
Initially disgust and like
Mhm.
hatred for Noah. Never thought at any point in the book I would like empathize with him a little bit, but I did.
Mhm.
Like as the book kind of progressed, I didn't want to like at all, but I guess just Lucinda is such a great writer
Yeah.
and like her character development of him made me empathize in a way, but the initial reaction to him, and I still felt the same throughout the book, disgusted, like hatred, anger, but initially I didn't think I would end feeling the way that I did, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. I don't know.
I'm so excited to get to that point
I
because
know.
I think we might differ.
We might.
Oh.
So how did you feel?
I was repulsed
Mhm.
by Noah's confession. My first instinct, I just thought about the little girls, and I think that's where I
Mhm.
was throughout a lot of the book.
Yeah,
Is I kept thinking about the kids. They're like, for me, I'm like, they're just these innocent little girls like swimming,
literally.
and they have this like monster almost disguised as their coach, someone that they are trusting, and he just like is touching them to fulfill his own needs. I just
And
like,
we never really got exactly what he did. Like, did
right.
we? Like,
No, I don't think we did, because even when the parents of the little girls came over,
mhm.
like Adrian was like, they were playing doctor. It was innocent. That never came up again.
No, it didn't. It was never brought up.
So like from the jump, Adrian was trying to protect him.
You're right. She was.
And I just was like,
And you saying that like you always had them in the back of your mind, you're right. Like that is so true. I think I forgot about the little girls a lot throughout the book because the writing was so heavy
and
on
compelling. It really
on
was.
compelling on like Noah's story and really just even more than Noah's story, Adrian the mom's
Mhm.
reaction to her son
Yes.
being this way that it never focused on the little girls at all and I've almost forgot that part. And just you
Yeah.
bringing that up makes me be like no to everything. I'm like that nothing matters because they mattered the most.
Right.
The little
And like
girls.
they almost did serve as secondary characters,
They
like
did.
supporting characters, but they were so much more.
You're
Like
so right.
they propelled the entire plot
Yeah.
because of what he did.
Yeah. And that they really were forgotten. It really was about him and the mom.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, okay, let's go to question 2.
Mhm.
So this happens. Noah begins treatment. Did you agree that treatment, like, do you agree with that initially? What about after he confessed that, he really wasn't getting better and that he
Mhm.
was kind of like trying to, kind of manipulate the hospital staff into,
Yeah. He does confess to that. Like
Mhm.
he's like I just want to get out of here.
Right.
Something that I found interesting was that how he was such a great patient and
Mhm.
then the I guess it was the therapist kind of like clocked him when he decided that he asked can he write the two little girls a letter, like an apology letter. And Adrian was like, "Well, that's amazing. Like he's sorry." And the therapist was like, "No." She caught on to like that's a sign that he actually is still in it for them. Like he still has an obsession with the little girls. Like he should know that by sending them an apology letter, that's only going to hurt them more.
The trauma that they're already
Mhm.
dealing with.
Exactly. And like we'll deal with forever.
Exactly.
So as far as like his treatment went, okay, I was a little confused because the shock therapy part was that did that happen to Noah or the dad? Because we read the shock therapy through the chapters that were labeled him,
Mhm.
and then we find out at the end of the book that him was actually the father in the
Yeah.
past.
So, and like shock therapy, I do feel like it's some like older
Yeah,
type
so
of
it probably
treatment. I
was
don't
the
think
father.
like the modern day would have been doing
Hmm.
shock treatment.
Right, because what they were doing was like showing him pictures or whatever of children, and then like shocking him if he
Reacted. Yeah.
reacted. Yeah. So I don't know if like Noah had that same treatment.
I would say no.
Yeah. I don't really know what is proper treatment and what's not. Like I have no idea. I
I
feel
mean, is
like
it
the
something to
to treat.
treat?
Right, that's the
Is it
main
treatable?
question. Is it treatable? And like I feel like the harshest treatment probably still isn't harsh enough for someone who can do that. So
No.
I'm down with the harsh treatments.
Look, I'm like, you should be in jail.
Yeah. And as a like if I was the parents of the two little girls, well, he probably would be dead. Like if that you know what I mean? Like
Right.
there's no way that you hear that beeping? Beep beep beep
What is
beep.
that?
I don't know. Like a watch? Hold on guys, we're gonna pause. Okay. Problem fixed.
We're
So
back.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the worst treatment he deserved. Whatever treatment he got, he deserved. He probably needed
Yes.
more. He actually did need more.
I am in agreement with that.
Okay.
It's just that's hard for me.
Yeah.
And again, like my greatest struggle with this book, and you mentioned it earlier, is like empathizing with a pedophile, no matter how young he is, and no matter how great his life seemed before. Like he was a normal kid with straight A's, and he was an athlete, and like gonna be the next Michael Phelps. But this whole time, he was fighting urges. He said since 7th grade.
Right. Right.
So I did struggle.
Yeah. No matter who he was, if he had remorse, like he didn't deserve to live in the real world, like to be part of
Yeah.
society.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Okay,
It's y'all. This is a tough book, like to break down in conversation.
it is difficult.
Mm-hmm. It's hard.
It is hard.
Let's keep working through the questions.
Okay, can you relate with Adrian? Do you feel for her? Would you have ultimately made the same decision? Do you think her judgment is blinded by anything?
Okay, this is going to be a really interesting conversation because I'm
Yes.
curious to think what you think too, or to hear what you think too.
Mhm.
So me and my nanny were texting about this, and she sent me her review. So I included her review like in this question because it has a lot to do with what
Oh,
Adrian
good,
did.
good. Okay.
So what she said, I agree with, like wholeheartedly. It's just so hard to say because how could you know what to do if you were in Adrian's position? Like how would you know how to react? Like
Unless you're truly
in it.
in that.
In it. But if I can put myself in her shoes and think about like my own actual son, like,
Mhm.
okay, there's no way I could do what Adrian did. I don't think I could do what she did, assisted suicide, or at least not at that age. So this is what my nanny said. Okay, she said, at least not at the age 17 years old. It was premature, in my opinion. We would change our names, move across the country, live in the middle of nowhere, away from people, live off the land for 10 years or however long. Maybe one day he could be cured. I don't know, but I would try everything. His brain wasn't even fully developed yet. Maybe if it was like a 35-year-old son, but still pretty sure I can never assist my son's suicide. Definitely not at 17 years old. I would move, change my name, stay away from people. And this is where I kind of agree with my nanny because I don't think I could ever be okay with my son not being here on earth, like not being a living, breathing human,
Mhm.
no matter what they did. I would have to just accept this is what I think. I would just have to accept that my life was over. Like, my son is a monster. I brought him into the world, and it's my responsibility to, like, make sure he doesn't hurt anybody. So I would just have to, like, literally take him somewhere that he could never be around anyone ever and just accept, like, okay, this is me and you, and that's it. Like, I can't have you
Mhm.
gone because how could I ever live without, like, how can you move on from that? But, like, you can't exist in society either. So either, like, I'd have to send him to jail for the rest of his life and be locked up,
Mhm.
but at least he wouldn't be dead. That's how I feel.
And look, like I'm not a mom yet,
Hmm.
so I'm just going on what I assume I will feel for my future children,
Hmm.
and there's no way I could have no. And I get, I don't get
Mm-mm.
like Noah wanting to be dead to protect.
Not the
Are
timer.
you kidding me?
Okay, we got it.
For now, like to protect more children is just wild to me. And that
Right.
just shows me that like this isn't something that can be cured.
It can't.
However, like I couldn't assist with the suicide. There's just absolutely no way.
No.
I wouldn't be able to live with myself or like
Move on with
no
your
matter
life.
what, Adrian's not going to have a normal life.
Right.
But also, I don't know. I think like jail for me.
Jail. Yeah. So I was gonna say, okay, you can't assist with the suicide. What would be your next step? So that's what you would want. Like,
And it's hard. Like I don't know.
I know, I know, but I think that yeah, like he would have to. I'd have to tell the authorities like that's what he's going to do. He claims he wants to do it. He needs to go somewhere
Mhm.
forever and like be
Right.
locked up. And that's still
And,
a
like-
terrible way to live. But at least his heart is still beating. Like,
His heart is still beating.
mm-hmm.
And I feel like I just, as a mom, I don't know, as a person,
Mm-hmm.
how are you just going to continue to give someone, like, I understand, like, it's not going to be a normal life.
Yeah.
but you did something. You're aware of what you've done
Mm-hmm.
and how
He was
horrible
like
it is.
freakishly aware of what he did in
He
this book. Like
was.
he knew he was not normal.
And I can't get with it.
No, I know. Terrible.
And there
All
were truly
around.
times where I was like, I did feel for him and like
Mhm.
see him as a human. Because I'm
Yeah.
not saying he's not a human with feelings. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I am so like, this is what he did.
Right. And
This is the
that's
crime.
the facts of it.
This is the facts. And
Mhm.
I continuously went back to the young girls
Yep.
who, like, their lives are changed forever. The parents of these children are changed forever.
Right. And if I'm thinking about the parents of the children, I would have zero empathy for him ever.
Right.
I would want only the worst for him. And I would like make it my life's mission to like make sure he spent the rest of his life in
Right.
jail or something. So
And like, but then it's like thinking about just Adrian. Like, as a parent, you really do whatever it takes to protect your kids.
Mhm.
So like, was she protecting him? I guess I would assume she's protecting him from
Yeah.
everything he would deal with
yeah, I think
continuing in life.
I think she thought she was protecting him and like
that was like her fuel.
yeah. Yeah.
Because
She
for
was like
most of the
releasing
book-
it seemed like she thought she was like releasing him from his own pain.
Yeah. And she also kind of like, I don't know.
It's tough.
It is tough.
So tough.
I feel like she was like also letting go
Yeah.
of all the things that she, like the denial.
So
She-
much of it was
the
denial.
entire book, Adrian
Yeah.
was just in denial.
Yes. That's why I had mentioned that in the summary too. It was like she
Yes.
after the note, it seemed like she finally accepted what she knew she was trying to pretend wasn't true.
And
like-
what everyone else
Knew.
saw and knew.
Right. Like she was just I think thinking like this was a mistake. Like this
Right.
was not who he is and like
Right.
but he was like it is. Like this is who I
And
am.
I think that's where a lot of my like he should be in jail comes from.
Mhm. Right.
Not just like, oh, he was like, I can't believe I did that. Like, I would never, like,
Yeah. No, I know. It makes me wonder about like the actual laws too. Like if this were real life and like he did what he did, would he not? Would he really only be in 18 months of like rehabilitation center?
I can't imagine.
Wow. Because like no.
But then again, his lawyer fought for him not to be tried as an adult,
yeah, that's
which
true.
would have been very different
right. That's
if he
true.
was.
I forget he was 15 when it happened.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
Whew,
What's
okay.
next?
So let's kind of talk about some of the other characters. How'd you feel about Lucas? We kind of really covered Noah
Yeah.
and Katie. So really Lucas and Katie.
Well, okay, at first Lucas, the dad, I was like on his side. I understood why he didn't want anything to do with his kid. Like I understood Adrian and I understood Lucas, like both sides. Like and
I was too.
and I felt like he throughout a lot of the book it seemed like he just was really wanted to protect Katie cuz Katie was the same age as the kids that he molested at that point once he was
Correct.
was released. So I was like he just is protecting his daughter and like he was just kind of like Adrian, you're going to have to handle him. Like I don't want anything to do with him. But then bitch by the end I was like fuck Lucas. He's terrible. The worst of the worst.
He's the worst of the worst.
right.
I was so like team dad. Like I was texting Colby.
I know.
And
You
I
told
was
me
like-
at school you're like I'm team dad and I just pretended like I
Yeah.
no.
She was like, "Oh, are you kidding me?"
This timer is coming for the podcast.
Y'all.
Beep beep. Okay. We're just going to have to keep turning it on and off.
I know. I cannot be this stupid though. Like there has to be a switch.
It's fine.
Whatever. Yeah, like I was like so not super far in the book. I was like, Colby, I am team dad. Like
Yeah, I get it.
I get it.
Mhm.
And yeah, she was kind of like, keep reading. Like, let me
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I know I'm going to stay team dad. No,
No.
absolutely
Mm-mm.
not a chance. Like, I'm almost embarrassed that I was like, I'm team dad.
I think anyone who read the book probably had the same experience though. Like understood the dad completely. And then by the end of it I'm like could the dad have helped because obviously the dad learned to live with his disgusting thoughts and
But did he?
no because I specifically remember he said I'm relieved Noah's gone because now I can go back to pretending to live a normal life.
Pretending to live a normal life.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is kind of like, I guess we're kind of putting, the next question is, were you shocked by the ending? And I feel
Okay.
like we're kind of like
Yeah.
there.
Mhm.
I think because towards the end, Katie started acting out. She was wetting the bed,
Mm-hmm.
and what was the other thing that she started to do?
Well, she said something really kind of shocking.
Yes.
She was like, fighting for Noah back. She loved him so much. She
did
loved her
love-
brother, and
she
she was
did.
like, I want to stay here with you guys. I love
Yes.
him. She said, I know what he did. I don't care if he touches me. I just want to be with him. Like, I know he touched the
Yes.
girls. I don't care if he touches me.
Yes.
Like, that was really weird.
That's when I think that's why I keep going back to like the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's not forget about the victims.
Right. And that
While the
Katie
whole
was so
story's
warped.
about him.
Yeah. Then her perception of things got so warped. And
Right. And I texted Colby and was like, okay, wait, like I might be premature with this, but Katie's acting out like,
Mhm.
did Noah start touching her? And
the wetting the bed was weird too, because that is, I've heard that that's like a telltale sign of possible abuse too.
right.
Maybe that was like a little nugget. Like maybe that is something.
So now
there.
I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
this whole time we thought Katie was safe,
Mhm.
clearly living with a
Literal
pedophile.
pedophile. Like her dad is an
Her
actual
dad
pedophile.
is an actual pedophile, and now she starts like she's
Mhm.
acting out,
Right.
and now mom's out of the picture, so like mom's not there to see what's really happening.
Right. And Lucinda
I mean,
never wrapped that up for us, but it definitely is something to think about. Like that could be a plot point that she wants us to go, yeah, that could be happening.
so this whole time Lucas had free, like I hate to say it like this, but unsupervised free range of Katie.
Disgusting.
He's the only one that,
Yeah.
and so this whole time I thought she was like protected from Noah, and the entire time she's living with a monster.
Ew. That's so true. Hate. I hate that.
Horrible.
I felt the same way.
Um,
So as far as shocked by the
Yeah.
ending, I did not see that coming with the dad.
hell no.
I thought like there would be some kind of twist maybe at the end. I thought maybe we would find out that Noah was actually molested as a kid, or like
Right.
he had some other reasoning, or maybe something with Katie. But I
Mhm.
did not expect that those chapters that we were reading, I thought were Noah the whole time, were actually the dad in a rehab center.
I agree. That I was like,
Mhm.
I had no words. I was like, are you what?
Yeah.
Did I just read?
Yeah.
I thought like at the end, obviously before I got to the assisted suicide,
Mhm.
I didn't know if I thought like it was gonna be Noah older, like when it was like him now. I thought it was gonna be him in the future a little bit.
Right, and he might have made it or something. I
Something,
thought that
yeah.
too. I thought the same thing.
The dad, like him
Mhm. Being him.
being him, I was so disgusted. I felt icky.
Icky. Yeah.
It
Perfect
was
word.
really, really hard to get through that particular chapter in the book.
It was.
Just like the whole barn scene.
The whole barn scene, and he was like very arrogant in it. He was like
Yeah.
selfish. Like he was just like, yeah, Noah reminded me of who I used to be, so I hated him and I need him gone because I am selfish and I want to go back to pretending like everything's normal. So instead of helping my kid, who I probably passed this on to or whatever the fuck happened there, he was just like, I need him gone because I need to pretend like I'm normal. So he was like the worst of the worst type of person.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Before we get to our last
Mhm.
overall thoughts,
Okay.
I did want to share what one of our listeners, readers wrote. You motherfucker.
This timer is out to get us. We're just gonna
special
keep it-
guest.
Beep, beep.
Bitch. Okay, I think I just got it.
Okay. We shall see.
Saving Noah, my closing thoughts.
Okay, so this is a listener thought.
Yes.
Okay.
The dad. Wow. This stopped me in my tracks because it was a lot to digest. He related to him. He understood his son more than anyone ever could have. He could have shown Noah there is hope and there is a way out of this. And why didn't he? Was his brain really trained to be that repulsed by anything regarding pedophilia? This was hard for me to swallow. Secondly, there is truly nothing like a mother's love. The lengths and darkest places she went to help her child. Nothing could have prepared me for the highs and lows Adrian experienced, the fear, the anger, the disgust, but ultimately the clarity. The inner struggle for Adrian was shown really well, I think, and she was there every single step of the way. I have never read a book like this. The entire time I was reading it, I felt like I was watching a car crash, and I could not manage to look away. I'm torn on whether or not I'd recommend this book, because given the content, it's obviously not for everyone. So many emotions wrapped into these pages, but that's one of the best parts of reading. I'm glad I read this book. It's hauntingly beautiful and honestly could have been labeled as a beautiful tragedy. Move over Romeo and Juliet, because no one might have you beat. it really grips your moral compass and makes you think, what would you do?
Amazing review.
Right?
Oh my God. Perfectly
was-
said.
Yeah.
There's one part that really stuck with me that I want to mention because she said about the dad, was his brain really trained to be that repulsed by pedophilia? That does make me think back on his chapters where he did have all those like intensive shock therapies, I guess that
Mhm.
were meant to make him completely repulsed by
Right.
pedophilia. So maybe that's how he went on to live like a normal life. It was just like his brain was just like taught to like react in a very negative way
Yeah.
whenever anything was brought up. So still doesn't change anything about the way I feel about the dad,
No.
but maybe that is why so and like instantly
Why
he
his
was
reactions.
repulsed. Right.
Yeah.
Versus let me help him.
Exactly.
Wow, that was such a good review.
It was a good review, right?
It was like watching a car crash but couldn't look away. Perfectly said.
Yes.
I felt the same exact way.
Me too.
Oh wow.
So okay, that leads me to, did you like the book? Would you recommend it? Do you have any final takeaways?
Okay. So I did like this book. It's like hard to say that you like a book that has such terrible content, but to me, a book that's like this thought provoking, it's one that I'm glad that I read. So like I didn't love my time with it. It wasn't a book that made me feel good, that's for sure. Like I was happy that it was over, to say the least. But it was something that made me think. So I'm glad that I read it. Um, it to me was a tale of heartbreak, explored how deep a mother's love can go, how far some people will go to run from who they really are. And it definitely makes you consider, are pedophiles born that way? Are they born sick? We know that some people turn into pedophiles maybe based off of trauma or neglect or like childhood abuse that happened to them. But what about people like Noah and his father? Like, were they just born different? Are their brains wiredly different than ours? How many pedophiles walk amongst the real world, masking their sickness just like Lucas did? That's like terrifying to think about.
It is.
Can pedophiles actually change? And if not, what type of life do they deserve to live, if any? There were a lot of moral questions that this book brought me to. I'm still not sure of like any of the answers,
Right.
but would I recommend this book? I guess it just depends on if you're looking for like a thought-provoking book. I was explaining the book to my mom and she was like, I wouldn't want to read that, but like I'm happy to listen to the summary and the
Right.
recap and like what you guys thought. So I could definitely understand why people wouldn't want to read it, but if you're interested in the market for a thought-provoking book, this is the one.
This is the one. I think that was beautifully said, especially like the question of, are you born wired that way?
Right.
Or is it an effect of something that traumatic, that happened to you? I think that is like some of the questions that you're definitely left with. However, despite me feeling like truly just like gross and icky, I did like the book. And I do think that just goes back to Lucinda's writing style.
Yeah,
I think she could,
definitely.
like, it doesn't matter what she writes about. And I enjoy that her books are shit that it really is like that happens.
Realistic fiction.
You just never read about it from
Right.
this point of view.
That's perfectly said.
And I think that the parts where I did find myself having empathy for Noah
Mhm.
is when she would portray him as just like doing normal 17-year-old things.
Yes,
And like
exactly.
Adrian being like, "Oh, it was so nice to see him being his normal self." Like, that's what, are you kidding? Like, that was his normal,
yeah.
but he was never acting in a normal way, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And I
Um,
felt the same way. Those are the times that I would kind of forget almost what
Yes.
he did, and then the second I would remember,
Exactly.
I would change my mind instantly again.
Exactly. And I'm just like, you're enjoying this like normal moment. Like, are those little girls experiencing these normal moments? Like,
Right.
that's where I just kept going back and forth. Like, I kept going back to the little girls.
Yeah, and I guess it all comes really down to that. Like that is really what's at the center of it, are
Yes.
victims of,
Yes.
and this is like in real life too.
Absolutely.
Like the victims matter 10 times more than like
100.
any sense of normalcy that he might have had.
Exactly.
It
Like,
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
So it was just like, it makes you think.
It
just
really does.
really makes you think.
This book will stick with me forever. It's
Forever.
one of those that will stick with me forever.
Yeah, like I don't think I'd ever give it a second read.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah,
Um,
but it's gonna
but
stick.
it's gonna stick.
It's gonna stick for sure. That was it, y'all.
That was it. Okay.
Saving Noah.
Saving Noah.
Thank you, Lucinda Berry. So glad we
Yes.
found her as an author. We'll be reading every one of her books.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yes.
Okay, so this kind of leads us into our next book. We're definitely going to stay in our thriller
Yes.
genre. Like, this is just where we're meant to be.
It's where we're meant to be. We're happy to be here.
So if you have friends or family that love thrillers, send them our way. Truly.
This is where they're meant to be and we're meant to be together.
Like synergy.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
Let's do it.
So our next book is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
So just very quickly about the book. At 17, Lenora Hope hung her sister with a rope. Now reduced to a schoolyard chant, the Hope family murders shocked the Maine coast one bloody night in 1929. While most people assume 17-year-old Lenora was responsible, the police were never able to prove it. Other than her denial after the killings, she has never spoken publicly about that night, nor has she set foot outside Hope's End, the cliffside mansion where the massacre occurred. It's now 1983, and home health aide Kit McDeer arrives at a decaying Hope's Inn to care for Lenora after her previous nurse fled in the middle of the night. In her 70s and confined to a wheelchair, Lenora was rendered mute by a series of strokes and can only communicate with Kit by tapping out sentences with an old typewriter. One night, Lenora used it to make a tantalizing offer. "I want to tell you everything." "It wasn't me," Lenora said, "but she's the only one not dead."
What?
As Kit helps Lenora write about the events leading to the Hope family massacre, it becomes clear there's more to the tale than people know. But when new details about her predecessor's departure come to light, Kit starts to suspect Lenora might not be telling the complete truth, and that the seemingly harmless woman in her care could be far more dangerous than she first thought.
That sounds amazing.
Right?
That kind of gave me chills. I'm like,
It sounds
I'm intrigued.
so good. I'm excited for
Lenora.
that one. Lenora.
Lenora, what are you up to?
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
You ever heard about Lizzie Borden?
Yes, I was literally thinking the same thing.
Like the chant.
the chant, the like happening in like the 20s in like an old big house,
Right?
And her being like a young killer, like
Lizzie
infamous
Borden.
killer.
That's right.
That sounds so interesting. I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, because there's like another little part that says, stabbed her father with a knife, took her mother's happy life.
that
and
sounds
that's-
just like the Lizzie Borden chant.
Lizzie Borden had an axe.
Yeah.
She gave her father 40 whacks.
Yeah.
Wait, why do I just know this? I'm like acting like I don't know it.
No,
Once she
that's
saw what she had done, she gave her mother 41.
I'm scared. You know, you can go like stay in like the Lizzie Borden house. You can have
Shut
an
up.
experience. People do it all the time.
I have chills.
The ghost of Lizzie will come and like show you what
No.
she did.
No,
I'm scared. That sounds
Okay.
so fucking good. I can't wait.
I'm excited.
I will be starting this immediately.
I was gonna say I'll probably start tonight.
Yes, definitely.
And we have reading for our day off tomorrow.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Pumped.
This was a solid episode. Thoroughly enjoyed
It
this
was.
conversation. It was tough, but it was one that probably did have to be said once again.
It had to be said.
So y'all don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Open Books Podcast. That's where you can interact with us and send us your reviews on the books. You know we love hearing what y'all think.
Love it.
Also go rate the show 5 stars anywhere that you're listening. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, send us a little review. It helps us reach our audience, which is what we're trying to do.
Yes,
So,
help you girls out.
help you girls out, and we love y'all so much. Thank you so much for listening, and talk to you all in the next one.
Bye.